Hello, and thank you for visiting the Renewing Your Academic Professional License component of the Massachusetts Educator Licensure Series, often referred to as MELS. The intent of this presentation is to provide general information about renewing a professional academic license or licenses. Throughout this presentation, there will be references to finding additional information such as guides, forms, and other websites. You can find links to these resources within the overview located directly beneath this video. A professional license is valid for 5 calendar years and is renewable for additional 5-year terms. Generally, the license you are employed under is considered your primary license. However, when renewing more than one license, educators can choose which professional license to designate as their primary license. 150 PDPs are required to renew a primary professional license, at least 15 of which must be in content. At least 15 must be in pedagogy. At least 15 PDPs must be in English as a Second Language, ESL, Sheltered English Immersion, SEI, and/or Bilingual Education. And at least 15 must be in Strategies for Effective Schooling for Students with Disabilities and Instruction of Students with Diverse Learning Styles. The remaining PDPs, maximum of 90 points, may be any combination of elective activities, additional content, or pedagogy. Electives are professional development activities or experiences related to general educational issues of interest to the educator and other content or pedagogy. This distribution of PDPs was approved by the board in June of 2017 and provides educators and districts with greater flexibility to focus on professional development activities that should impact their teaching and the students they have. Professional development points covering topics within the subject matter knowledge, SMK, of a teacher, specialist teacher, or professional support personnel license renewed are PDPs in content. PDPs covering topics within the professional standards for administrators are PDPs in content for all administrator licenses. In addition to PDPs covering topics within the professional standards for administrators, PDPs covering the SMK of the School Business Administrator license are PDPs in content for school business administrators. Professional development points required to maintain a license as a registered nurse in Massachusetts are PDPs in content for school nurses. PDPs covering topics within the professional standards for teachers are PDPs in pedagogy. You can find links to SMK, the professional standards for administrators, and the professional standards for teachers within the overview located directly beneath this video. PDPs covering topics within the SMK of the ESL license, SEI Teacher Endorsement, and/or the Bilingual Education Endorsement are applicable toward the 15 PDP and ESL SEI Bilingual Education. In addition, educators who hold a professional license may be able to receive 15 PDPs for passing the SEI MTEL. Please also note that educators who hold a professional core academic teacher license may earn PDPs through the successful completion of a department-approved SEI course of study. These PDPs may be applied to the content of the educator's license, and some educators may be able to utilize the PDPs earned towards their next renewal cycle, or distribute the SEI PDPs in multiple renewal cycles. You can find additional information about SMK, MTEL, and PDPs educators may earn through the department-approved SEI course of study through links within the overview located directly beneath this video. Except for professional licenses that are invalid, 30 PDPs are required to renew each additional professional license. At least 15 of these PDPs must be in the content of the additional license. Any combination of elective activities, additional content, or pedagogy is necessary for the remaining PDPs. To renew an additional license that is in an invalid status requires 150 PDPs. At least 15 PDPs in content is required, with the remaining 135 PDPs earned through any combination of elective activities that address other educational issues and topics that improve student learning, additional content, or pedagogy. A professional license not renewed within the 5-year validity period becomes inactive for a period up to 5 years. An educator employed in a district under a license prior to it becoming inactive is no longer legally employable under the license in that district. For example, Mary's professional Math 5 through 8 license becomes inactive while employed as a Math 5 through 8 teacher in the Pentucket School District. She is no longer legally employable under her Math 5 through 8 license in the Pentucket School District. However, an educator with an inactive license who is newly hired, i.e., to a new field or grade level of another license held that is also an inactive, can be legally employed under said license for up to 2 years from the date of hire. For example, Paul's Biology 8 through 12 teacher license is currently inactive, and he was not employed under the license during its validity period. Paul can be hired as a Biology 8 through 12 teacher in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid Biology 8 through 12 teacher license is required by Massachusetts law. Paul will have 2 years from the date of hire to renew his license. A professional license that becomes inactive and remains inactive for 5 years becomes invalid. An educator with an invalid license cannot be employed under the license without a waiver. For example, John's English 8 through 12 license is invalid. John would either have to renew the license, or a school district would need to request and receive a waiver on John's behalf to permit John's employment as an English 8 through 12 teacher in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. Regardless of being inactive or invalid, renewal of a license may occur at any time upon earning the required PDPs and applying for licensure renewal. Educators may earn PDPs through a variety of sources, including schools, collaboratives, colleges, universities, the department, and registered PD providers. Generally, 1 hour of a professional development activity equates to 1 PDP. When it comes to college credits, an undergraduate credit from an accredited college or university equals 15 PDPs, and an applicable graduate credit equals 22.5 PDPs. You may also gain PDPs through continuing education units, CEUs, or through auditing a course. Learn more about the professional development providers and PDPs earned from numerous professional development activities through the license renewal guidelines. You can view these guidelines through the link within the overview directly beneath this video. For renewal purposes, educators may begin earning PDPs from the original issuance date of their professional license forward, or from renewal dates forward. From renewal dates forward applies even when an educator chooses to renew early. We will cover this concept further on the next slide. Meanwhile, please also be advised that except for PDPs that some core academic teachers may earn through successfully completing a department-approved SEI course of study, educators cannot apply PDPs from one renewal cycle to another. Educators can renew a license up to 12 months in advance of the expiration date. However, the next renewal cycle will not begin until the expiration date. For example, Jim is due to renew a professional license on January 1st, 2018. His renewal cycle ran from January 1st, 2013 through January 1st of 2018. Having earned all required PDPs, Jim renewed early on February 19th, 2017. His renewal cycle remains as if he renewed on January 1st, 2018. Therefore, Jim can start earning PDPs for his next new renewal cycle on January 1st, 2018, and has until January 1st, 2023 to gain PDPs and renew. You may renew an additional license when your primary license is more than 1 year from the renewal expiration date. However, if the primary license is less than 1 year from the renewal expiration date, you will not be able to renew an additional license without designating and renewing one of your professional licenses as the primary license. Educators may hold multiple professional level licenses with different expiration dates. Oftentimes, they may wish to renew 2 or more professional level licenses around the same time, as this would make it easier to keep track of each. However, due to the date of issue of the licenses or their last renewal, the expiration dates are different, making this not possible. In December of 2016, ELAR was modified so that applicants now have the option to synchronize the renewal dates of multiple professional level licenses by self-selecting a new renewal date. If you wish to synchronize the expiration date of 2 or more licenses, you may shorten the new expiration date of the licenses you are currently renewing to match that of your other licenses. The date selected must be less than 5 years. For more information on synchronizing licenses, please see ELAR Guides, How to Renew a Professional License in ELAR, located within the link. Regardless of employment status, anyone renewing a professional license is required to have an Individual Professional Development Plan, IPDP. The IPDP of educators employed in the role of the professional license in a Massachusetts public school must align with school district professional development plans and goals. In addition, these educators must receive initial approval and final endorsement of the professional development plan from their supervisor. Learn more about the IPDPs through the License Renewal Guidelines. You can view these guidelines through the link within the overview directly beneath this video. Rather than maintain 2 separate plans, their IPDP and their educator plan, educators have the ability to use their educator plan in lieu of creating an additional plan to satisfy the renewal requirements. The educator plan outlines a course of action that the educator will take to pursue his or her goals. The educator plan includes a minimum of 1 individual or team goal to improve the educator's professional practice tied to 1 or more performance standards, and a minimum of 1 individual or team goal to improve the learning, growth, and achievement of students that the educator will take to attain these goals. Educators employed in a Massachusetts public school may elect to use the professional practice goals established under his or her educator plan for license renewal, or in combination with the professional learning goals in their IPDP. In many instances, the educator's professional development activities will meet the goals of the educator plan and contribute to meeting the requirements for license renewal. You can learn more about the educator plan and license renewal through the link provided in the overview directly beneath this video. The fee for renewing your primary license is $100, and renewing additional licenses costs $25 each. You can view instructions on how to apply and pay for renewal online through the link provided in the overview directly beneath this video. Renewing online in ELAR should result in an instantaneous renewal of your professional license. The exception to this rule would be licenses that have a restricted status due to failure of obtaining the SEI endorsement. To ensure the integrity of the license renewal process, the department audits applications that have been renewed. Applications are selected randomly and on an ongoing basis. Educators are responsible for maintaining their IPDP, proof of all professional development used for renewal for up to 5 years from renewal, and for those choosing to carry over PDPs earned from the department-approved SEI course, verification of PDPs previous renewal cycle. The audit process continues to demonstrate that Massachusetts educators take the renewal requirements seriously and continue to meet expectations. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about educator licensure in Massachusetts. Thank you also for being an educator or aspiring to become one. Your efforts are commendable and greatly appreciated. We hope this component of MELS has been helpful. Please visit other components of this series for additional information about educator licensure. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call the Licensure Call Center at 781-338-6600 or stop by and visit us in person at our walk-in service counter at 75 Pleasant Street, Malden, Massachusetts.